up, everybody? It's the Laser Beam of Truth, and today I'm going to do a quick update on my bug out bag situation. So if you've already seen some of my other videos, you saw the Friday night freeze I did a couple weeks ago. The one thing I learned from that experiment is that if I have to bug out in Michigan and it's the wintertime, I want every possible comfort I can afford myself, because it's not going to be comfortable. So any comfort I can provide myself will be very important, because again, one of the things we learned is that keeping your cool, keeping your wits about you is very important, and the more basic comforts that I can tote along with me, the more I'm going to be able to keep in a very calm and focused state of mind and not really bug out, because in my opinion, those situations where even the most trained individuals flip out and forget all their training skills, it's not like they don't remember. I'm sure they do. It's just that they get so distracted by the calamity of whatever SHTF scenario they're faced with, and it overwhelms them. So the key here, in my opinion, is if you have to bug out for a few days and you have to plan for a 3-day period where you could be like totally in a emergency situation, then you want to try and afford yourself some basic luxury. So not anything extravagant, but anyways. Okay, so I'm going to start with the most important thing, and that's my boots. Those are waterproof Cabela's, insulated. They're waterproof all the way up to like the top eighth eyelet point, like way up to the top. I can easily stick my foot in 6 inches of water and not get wet. So that's important. Keeping your feet in a comfortable state is a very important thing. Next, I got a couple of pair of dry socks, and finally, just in case the worst were to happen, or in case maybe my feet were overheating in these, I'm going to tie an old pair of comfortable tennis shoes to the side of my bag, or stuff them somewhere in there, because I'm going to have plenty of room, and I'm a bigger guy. I'm not going to shy away from carrying some comforts, because I know I can do it. So, okay, the first thing I'm going to talk about, and I know that some people in my last video about the bug out bag said I need to get the dry foods because they're lighter and they pack up well, and that's true. And I've had some of those before. Some of them are good, some of them are all right, some of them are not that good at all. And the other aspect of them is they're very expensive. I think that package right there was originally $9.99, but I got it marked down for $6.99 with a Christmas gift card. So anyways, that's just one example, but wanted to point out my stove too. This is a really important thing, to be able to have a heat source that's really small and compact, because that's something that you could very well die from in a bad situation if you were really cold. Now, if I were in a situation where it was the middle of the night and it was 7 degrees outside in Michigan and I didn't have the ability to make a fire, but I needed to get warm quickly, this little stove here is a really good way to do it. This is a Czechoslovakian mess kit that I got, and it sits right on top of this stove. The stove just screws right on top of the water bottle, and it folds up with these little tabs like this. And when it's ready to go, though, you just flip them out and give it a little bit of gas. Boil some water really fast with that. It's pretty hot. Warm yourself up quite a bit as well. So I'm just going to set it down low. And even low puts off a heck of a lot of warmth. If you needed to get warm really quick, this thing would really do the job. Key is you got to make sure you've got some of these cylinders with you. But anyway, so yeah, that's how I'm going to get warm. And then of course I'm also going to have along with me fire starting apparatuses, which there's a bunch of lighters in here, right there, and then I've also got some lighters inside this, which is kind of a mini, I'm going to get into that in a second, that's a mini secondary that if I happen to get separated from the rest of my stuff, I would at least have some backup stuff, water on both sides, and there's a little bit of food in there as an emergency as well, and some multi-tools and other things, but we'll get into that in a second. So I've got my knives along with me. I don't have my hatchet yet. I just haven't picked out what I'm going to get, but I think I am going to get a hatchet to add to this eventually. But this is a full tang. This is probably my best knife for just basic multi-purpose use. It's about probably 6.5, 7 inches total overall length. It's a very thick piece of steel. If I had to do some batoning with this, I think I could probably get the job done pretty well. But anyways, I've got other tools. I've got a handsaw to do some wood cutting if I need to. So yeah, first day of food would be some oatmeal and ramen noodles for lunch, and then some soup for dinner. And then that would be a second day meal, and then I've got a third day meal, which is Denver omelet and Cajun style rice and chicken. Obviously, there are debates about what I should be eating, but I'm kind of mixing it up a little bit. And then inside this, which is probably some of the most important stuff, this is basic comfort and medical supplies. There's everything from triple antibiotic ointment to iodine to swabs, Band-Aids, latex gloves, hand sanitizer, a little bit of mouthwash, toothpaste, deodorant, painkillers, ginseng to give you a pick you up in a natural way, and not using caffeine or anything like that, because that can bring about other problems. And then if you're having problems sleeping, you can add some melatonin to your system, and that'll help you sleep. And that's an important thing if you're in a stressed situation and you're probably going to have a hard. Other tenders that I'm bringing along with me, I'm bringing some lint in a different package in the mini pack. But this is a basic fire starter, and then I've got some hand warmers in the main pack. So I'm also going to bring .22 ammunition, depending on whether it's a situation where I think I may need to defend myself, protect myself, or maybe get some food. And basically, based on that debate, if I did have to bug out, I might consider taking my .22 pistol, but that's the only thing I would take with me. Pretty decent shot with it, so if I had to, I could shoot a squirrel in a pinch for an extra snack or dinner if my SHTF scenario lasted longer than 3 days. I'm also going to bring a Ranger Survival Handbook, which is something I picked up for $7 at a local Army surplus store. And it's got everything from basic foraging to trap building for animals, trapping, just all kinds of basic shelter building things. And this is what they give the best military force in the United States, so I'm sure it's good enough for me. So that's basically what's in the main kit. Now I'm going to show you what's in the mini. Oh, and of course I've got my paracord, in case you were wondering. That's also a fishing stringer if I were to go catch some fish. I am bringing a mini fishing kit. Let's get into this. So I've got 1 liter water in a hard plastic container, 16 or 20 ounces of water in the orange metal container, and then 2 more 16-ounce bottles. This is emergency food supply, just some Chef Boyardee, and then I've also got a can of tuna in here. Got my handheld GPS, my primary flashlight, chemical light stick, 2 sets of fishing equipment kits. One has hooks and sinkers and line wrapped around the prescription bottle, and then the other one just has some sinkers and some lures. Got some binoculars in case I have to do any long-range scoping, some more hand warmers in case I get cold, an emergency blanket, a flint and fire starter, and a compass. I also have another little mini kit of medicine in case I'm separated from my major medicine kit. I've got basic antacids, painkillers, Benadryl, even some premenstrual cramping things. I found all these single packets out of some emergency kits I had around the house. Oh, and some basic aspirin, and just basically a whole, just assortment of individually packed over-the-counter remedies in case you run into some problems out there. And then because I will be taking the paracord with me on my primary, I have another just bundle of rope inside of a Ziploc bag, a kind of a Swiss Army tool with a bunch of different pieces of utensil on it. Then in addition to that, inside this main pouch right here, I have a handsaw, which it will come in handy for cutting anything if I need to start a fire for myself. Again, this is lint, so if I have to start a fire for myself, I can just take the handsaw and maybe one of the larger knives and break off a bunch of dry wood and get my fire going with some lint and my striker or my lighter. And then in addition to that, I also have a signal mirror. This was a gift from Mazook 70. Thanks, Mazook. and then of course the 2 bottles of water, and then, oh yeah, we also have a multi-tool over here, which is, you know, just going to kind of add to things, and then basically a fold-out hunting knife. So that's what's in the mini kit, and that would pretty much be on me at all times because I don't have, you know, I'm not a military guy, so I'm not going to go out and buy a bunch of web gear and stuff, you know. So, and this is just stuff I have around the house, so this is what's in my primary bug out bag. So I would easily, oh yeah, I also forgot to mention that I would also bring my my sleeping bag and my rollout mat, and those strap to, well, one of them straps to the outside, and I can put the sleeping bag on the inside. So that's my bug out kit. That's my revised Bug Out Kit 2.0. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention plastic laminated maps of the area that I live in an area nearby that happens to have a very large national forest in it. I'm not sure if that would be a good place to go or not, but if I really wanted to avoid people, I might go there. Yeah, so that's basically what I'd be working with for my Bug Out Kit. Oh, whistle, forgot. Bug Out Kit 2.0. So anyways, post your comments. Let me know what you think. Laser Beam of Truth, signing out.